hopefully. Oh, today has been crazy. Let me get things going because I don't have anything going yet. So let me make sure that I am live on Facebook and YouTube on my handy dandy iPad. So if you have not gotten your drink tonight, go get it. I don't have my script up or anything. I got this bright idea at the last second to get all of my curriculum that I got today. So we'll do a little curriculum haul, maybe, if I can get myself together fast enough. So let me check out. Okay. All right. So I am live on the Facebook. And I want to be live on the YouTube. Let me just check. It was not smart for me to do that. Okay. It was not smart. All right, let me turn that off. Swipe to reveal comments. Okie dokie. Let me put this in YouTube. That if you are not subscribed to the email list, that I'm going to put that in the YouTube chat. Heidi, mine.everyweek.com. So when I say that every week, when I type and I type HeidiMine.com, every time I put the dot, it spaces out Heidi and mine, and then I have to go back and fix it. So not super convenient at all. But when you do subscribe to the email list, it does get you, that one should get you a 20% off coupon on your first order at HeidiMine.com. I finally got my media files to work. So I think I mentioned it last week that I was having some difficulties with my internet. No, not my internet, with my website. This is what happens when I don't have a script. So, sorry, I saw my face go completely stock still on Facebook. I don't know if there is a lag on Facebook. I'm kind of thinking that I may stop streaming to Facebook. It doesn't really get me a whole lot of interaction. I think that it's a lot for my streaming, and I have to pay like $20 a month to be able to stream to both YouTube and to Facebook. So I may just start doing lives on YouTube only and then post it later to Facebook. But we'll see. If I can figure out this OBS program and if I can figure out how to do it without like eating up all of the internet in the house, and I don't have to pay the $20 a month to stream to both, then I might continue to do it. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe I'll just go back to using my phone and my camera. We'll see. We'll see how it works. So yeah, what I really should have done is printed out. They didn't give me my packing list, their packing slip this year. So I'm kind of running off of whatever I find, but I think I can bring it up in my drive, what I ordered. So to kind of go backwards a little, hi, I'm Heidi, the owner of HeidiMine.com. I make handbags and accessories for fun moms. That's a new one, right? That's a new intro. Maybe we'll run with that for next time. I am also a homeschool mom of 11 and 13-year-old girls. And on my Wednesday night lives at 7 p.m. Pacific, I talk about things like my small business, being a homeschool mom, and sometimes a little bit about our personal lives, like homeownership and doing things around the house. So if you have not already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to YouTube or to follow along on Facebook and give this video a thumbs up or a like. This does help more people just like you come and hang out because it notifies them of super fun, awesome content like me rambling like a crazy person. If you are joining me live, please comment with #live. And if you are joining me on the replay, go ahead and comment with #replay. This helps me know when people are watching and if I need to change up my times or my days. I have not been following my recording schedule. It was a crazy July. It was a crazy June. And next week we start officially homeschooling again for the 2023-24 school year. So I feel like the beginning of the year kind of just was really draggy. And then now it's all of a sudden speeding up because I don't want it to. So it is what it is. I'm going to kind of move a little. I'm hoping that I'm not going to break this set of drawers thing. So a while ago, I'm a little bit hot because I was running around the house, so my hair is sticking to me. I can't remember when I went and visited my friend Tara. I can't remember now. It's been a few months. It was definitely before June. And she gave us a few things, and one of those things was one of those rolling craft carts. But while it was in my van waiting to come into the house, a screw fell out, and then one of the stabilizing rods fell out. So it leans, and I have it kind of against a desk right now, but I'm going to have to prop it back up straight so I can open the drawers. I really quickly was just throwing stuff into the drawers because I thought it would be easier to get to them. But now I'm thinking that was a really, really bad idea. So who knows what I'm going to do. We will see. We'll see how it goes. But today we had our first back to school meeting with our charter school advisor. At the meeting, we usually get, I think the last 4 or 5 years, they've been giving us this really nice binder, and it has a lot of resources in it. Things we can reference as a quick reference. And then if we have further questions, we can always contact our advisor. And we could contact them anyway, but I think this just kind of helps some families that, if it's the middle of the night and all of a sudden you wake up in a panic because you're like, what is my kid supposed to know? You can look at this guide. But it has a lot of resources for the parents of the homeschool families. We also get a packet of sample work that is usually what we work on in the first couple weeks of school. And so we picked up that today. We got to give a bunch of the teachers hugs because we do love our teachers at our charter school. And what else did we do? I forget what else. It was just we picked up the curriculum. That's like the whole point of what I was going to share with you tonight. So I'm not going to do all the crazy updates that I normally do. I feel like that takes a long time. And I don't have a whole lot of like homeschool business updates. So we're just going to get into we're going to call it a haul and not an unboxing because I've already taken everything out of the packing boxes and because I know what's in it. And then I can do a little bit of a business update towards the end because I do have some questions for you, my awesome homies. But for right now, I will just jump right into what we got. It's going to be a mix of things because I was trying to put it all away a little bit organized, but it didn't, I was running out of time and I needed to set up my camera and I needed to go find my iPad, and I'm talking really fast now. So I'm going to slow down just a teeny bit and we will do a little bit of this haul. I keep bumping into the stuff behind me, but we'll see. So the first thing, I've got some things on the floor next to me, and I should have grabbed my little scissors. But I do have really sharp nails. all the time. They are what they are. So the first thing we got is from the Institute for Excellence in Writing, which is our English language arts program. I don't know, I guess when I was in school, we just called it English. So for older people that I talk to, I have to call it English. But for, my nose is itchy, of course. But of course, for like teachers today and other homeschool parents, it's called language arts. So ELA, if you've ever heard that reference, that's what that is. But this is what we have used for our ELA program forever, forever. So it is also referred to as IEW, Institute for Excellence in Writing. And this is the Introduction to Public Speaking box. More tape. Let me grab my utility scissors. I think. There they are. I have no idea if you're going to be able to see my shorts in that. That would be super funny. I'll see it in a second when it pops up. Someone remind me I put my scissors there. Doesn't look like it. Okay. So from IEW, I won't do this for every single thing. There is like this little info page. These are, I think they call them like wall something or others. It just gives you like a bunch of different things. I chose to do this because my kids were much better communicators a while ago. Like, you know, pre-2020. And now I feel like they're not so good of speakers, and especially around other people. So I thought this would just be kind of interesting, and, you know, who doesn't want to argue? Like, not that public speaking is arguing, but eventually if somebody wants to do, like, debates or something, they have to know how to speak. So it does come with this really nice vinyl DVD case, and then all of the DVDs that I need to do, because it's got like lessons on them. I could have ordered the digital media set, but I chose not to. I am a little bit old school, and I like to be able to not count on the internet as much as possible, because I can see the lag in my Facebook Live, and it's kind of making me a little bit angry. So they do send this like binder, and these, like, they're pretty thorough. So there's a student packet, and I'm not going to open this up and go through the whole thing. And then there is the teacher's manual, and then they give you like dividers. So they say speech templates, memorization, critiques, and class notes. And a lot of times with IEW, like, you can buy the pieces, the components, and not buy like the whole kit. I like getting the whole kit because the charter school pays for it. But, you know, if you wanted to piece it out, you could buy like just the teacher's thing, or just the teacher and the student packet. Sometimes they do like reproducible packets. I'm going to put my hair behind me because I am just too warm to worry about that. But then you have to print the things if you get the reproducibles. So whatever works for you. Sometimes what I do is I will get the reproducible packets that are like PDF packets, and we have iPads and we have GoodNotes. So I will load the PDFs into GoodNotes, and then the kids can just write directly onto their iPads with their styluses. And then we don't use as much paper, which is always good for me, because then you have to find what to do with the paper, where at the end of the school year, when the kids are done with their lessons, I can just save it all as a file and then stick it in like the Google Drive and not worry about it anymore. Let's see. The other thing I got was structure and style for students. And this is just the year 1 level B folder. And it's like kind of the same thing where it's like the student packet, because I already have the teacher's packet for this. So again, they give you like the dividers, and I can see on Facebook that it's way laggy. So I don't know, there's something else in here. There's like blank pages or something. And then there's their worksheets. So sometimes I get a little bit confused with the way IEW does their, like what to order for what grade, but they have like this whole map. So you can look it up on the map, and they're kind of a get in where you fit in kind of a program. So you could go by grade, or they have like different ways. Like if your kid is more advanced, you could go up levels, or if they're a little bit struggling, you could go down levels. And I'm going to move my hair right back where it was. All right, so I'm going to go from the bottom up, because I know there's more IEW down here. So, and this I'm not even going to take out of the packaging because there's no reason to. So this is like a supplement that goes with IEW, and this is Following Narnia Volume 1, The Lion Song. So I got the teacher's book and the student book. I do like that because then this will be for my oldest daughter, and then when my younger daughter does the same program in a couple of years, I only need to order the student book unless they have reproducibles, and then I may just do that. But I love Narnia. I think it's a lot of fun. So I got that, and I think she'll like it. And we gave ourselves a challenge this year to read one book a month that is not a school book. So we'll see how that goes. But Narnia would have been on that list regardless. So maybe I'll give her a pass on that one. All right, and then what else? I got How to Write a Story, an instructional guide for understanding and teaching basic story writing. These are all from IEW. And actually, when I say that, these are all like, what do I want to say? They are like produced, published, whatever, by IEW, but I actually purchased these through Rainbow Resource. Our charter school lets us do purchase orders, so I just give them a list of things that I want to get, and then they order it for me, and it was at the school when we had our meeting, and I was very smart and brought my wagon this year because it's a lot of stuff and it's really heavy. And I ordered a lot of art stuff. So we might kind of just, I don't know. We'll do some of the art stuff at least, but maybe we won't do all of every piece of art items. So I also got cursive knowledge for IEW. Samantha was looking at this in the car earlier today, and she wanted to do this in the car today. So I have high hopes for this. In previous years, we have used handwriting without tears. And I think I even had like writing without tears that I ordered by accident. And my kids didn't really like it. It's a little boring. I think we started it a little bit late. So maybe if we had started it from the very beginning, they might have done better with it. I don't know. They don't love it. So I can always use those workbooks as like extra practice, but this one looks pretty good for cursive. And I do want them to learn how to read and write cursive. So there's that. All right. One drawer emptied and no crash yet. That is not what I want. These drawers. These drawers are all going to start coming out now because it's so crooked. Okay. So more IEW. This one is the Elegant Essay Writing Lessons. And again, we have the teacher book and the student book. There's a little bit of a theme going on, I think, this year, that I really want the kids to start developing their writing more and being able to write better, longer, more in depth, however you want to phrase that. Hi, Miss Sarah. Sarah says, we didn't care for handwriting without tears either. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, and one of the things that I wish people would have said more to me when I first started homeschooling is if something doesn't work, give it a set amount of time and then move on from it. And don't feel guilty about not finishing that program by switching to another. And this can get expensive if you're trying to do homeschooling on your own without a charter school, without like funds. That can be very expensive. So you can look at things like Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot of like buy, trade, sell groups for homeschool families. There's people that just give it away, that, you know, they're done with it and so they just get rid of it. There's all kinds of extra resources out there. But definitely, you know, I wish somebody would have said that to me a lot sooner in the game of homeschooling. Like, if it's not working, don't fight it. Just find something else. So sometimes it's, you know, it's hard. Our school has a lending library, which they've always had, but I've never utilized it. I didn't understand it for a long time. And you know, and that's just me trying to be super independent. And I could have been getting a little more help. You live and you learn. The next thing is Fix-It Grammar. I know Sarah has used Fix-It Grammar. Sometimes Fix-It Grammar doesn't make sense to me because this says it's level 5, but I'm pretty sure it's for like grade 8, unless I'm doing this wrong. It could happen, right? So Fix-It Grammar, the Frog Prince, the teacher's manual, and the student manual. And ironically, they had that at the school. Somebody ordered it. I think it was still in that packaging, like the wrap, the plastic wrap. And I should have grabbed it, but I didn't. So I ordered it for myself. But I mean, people turn that stuff in. And then this one, medieval history-based writing lessons. So sometimes what I do is, and this is the great thing about homeschooling, sometimes your language arts lesson can also be your history or social studies lesson. So always double up when you can. I think that one is for Evie. I think that's 6th grade. Because I know we've done medieval history before for one of the kids. Let's see. And I believe that's everything from IEW. So that concludes that part. I don't know. I think I've talked about this before. I really struggle with science and social studies as far as curriculum. The boxed curriculum is super boring for me. But unlike my dear friend Sarah, who is amazing, and she comes up with some like awesome things that she does for science and for social studies. Like that stuff, I look at it and I'm amazed by it, and I know I can't do it. I won't do the follow through. I just won't. So yeah, if you want to see some of the things, go visit Home with Sarah Jane on YouTube. She's got tons of homeschool stuff, and it's great. I love watching the stuff that she does. I look like, Sarah will have to answer in the comments. I know she did, and I'll probably say this wrong. You did the camp out one, and I don't know if it was like Little House on the Prairie themed or if that was just, you know, in my head. But it was great. And she's talked about it at some of our workshops, and, you're welcome. And it's awesome. And the mummified chicken, I still haven't done a mummified chicken. I don't know if I will ever do a mummified chicken because it would require me to do more planning than I think my brain can handle sometimes. So, and I kind of waited, Pioneer weekend, that was it. Yeah, so I don't know if she did that. Did you do it on your channel? I think you talked about it on your channel. So yeah, so I just wanted something kind of simple that we can build on. And for the last few years, we've just done 180 days of, so 180 days of social studies, 180 days of geography, 180 days of science. And then we add to it with other things. But that, I think it phases out at like the 6th grade. Pretty sure it phases out at 6th grade. And so last year, because my oldest was going to on-site classes more often, I dumbed down some of her curriculum. So I hate to say that, but I did. And Sarah says, no, it was before she started her channel. Well, I guess you're going to have to do another Pioneer weekend. Just kidding. You don't have to. So yeah, so I was, I hate to say I dumbed it down, but I kind of did. And we just used our IEW program for my oldest social studies last year. I can't remember what it was. I think we did some Greek mythology in there. I'm pretty sure we did Greek mythology at some point. So Sarah says she is already planning to do that for her channel. So make sure you subscribe because it's an awesome channel, just saying. And someday I'm going to have my backyard done so that Sarah can come over and help me figure out a garden for back there. It may not end up working out that I can do a garden for science class, but at least just, you know, for myself, I could have a garden. Also, our charter school has a small garden and they have pumpkins this year and they're so adorable. So for social studies, I went with Starline Press. So it's like a bunch of workbooks, and then somewhere in here, there are the like teacher resources. I'm not sure. I feel like I've heard that Starline Press is pretty good. I don't know. It's kind of basic. Like I was glancing at it in the car. There's not a lot to the teacher's portion of it. It's basically just the workbooks for the student and then the answer keys for the teacher. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That might work for us, that they just read the stuff and answer the stuff and call it done. Cool. I'm down for easy. All right, let me see if I can figure out these little drawers here. I don't know if I actually have to show you both of the Starline Press. That's not the one I want. So the drawers have fallen in. Okay. The drawers have fallen in. This is a hot mess. Okay. Oh, there's the other Starline Press anyways. Yeah. Okay. That's what I get. That's what I get. Oh, Sarah says they are also using Starline Press for the first time, but for health. That's what we know how that goes. Is that for high school health? I'm not sure. Because I would be interested in that also. We've had some questions lately and my answers are not very scientific for health. So this is the science. There are a lot more like books to this. We'll see. I feel like this one is for my oldest, and yes, for high school health. Okay. I will be interested to hear your reviews to Sarah, your reviews on that. My oldest daughter is really thriving with science. So I'm hoping that this will challenge her enough. I am actually putting in another work order this evening. I started doing it earlier, and then I got lost in this Google Drive rabbit hole that, I don't know. I have a bunch of different emails, and my homeschool email keeps telling me that my drive is too full, so I couldn't like do the worksheet for the purchase order until I deleted a ton of stuff. And yeah, and then it's, you know, my brain goes to mush. So we are going to be ordering Mel Science for this year. It is going to be the med set. So she was super interested in the fact that there's like, I'm pretty sure it's like a silicone and it's got slices in it. So it's supposed to represent like a wound and you get to sew them closed. So she was super like totally in it about that. But it did look the most interesting to her. So we're going to get that. Homeschoolers, charter school, they do, I think they do like special pricing and special kits. So this was something that our homeschool sent us information about. My email was from 2021, but it does link back to Mel Science, their website. So I'm assuming that it's up to date. We'll see when I submit that purchase order, but I will do like a better unboxing. I'll do a recorded one, so I'm not just like going cray on the live. So I'm not gonna open up the other Starline because it's just social studies for my youngest, and I think it's kind of stuck in there. It is what it is. So the next thing we are trying for my youngest daughter, we are going to stick with Math in Focus, mostly because math books are expensive. And we've worked with that program for years now. She is starting to respond better to it. Like I should have switched it a long time ago and I just didn't, because it just made sense to me. So what can you do? So we stuck with that for a very long time. I think that Math in Focus kind of phases out anyways around 6th, 7th grade. So that was fine. We ended up, we're still doing that for my youngest. So all she got were the student books, which I'll show you in a second. For my oldest, we started with Matthew C. Now, we won't actually start with this program at least for a few months because this is pre-algebra and we're still doing some catch up with her. She's just not super confident in math, even though, like, I don't know. I tell her she's understanding it, but she doesn't believe me for some reason. So I think we're going to be doing like the math tutoring this year again, at least for the first semester. And then once she really starts getting back into that like confident mode, we might not have to do it anymore. Whatever. It's all good. So Matthew C, pre-algebra. And then there's like a little DVD. I think it's the lessons. I believe Sarah has used Matthew C for a hot minute, I think. The only thing I didn't like, so over the summer from the learning library, and I'm going to have to take those books back, I borrowed some of the Matthew C books. And I wish, excuse me, that I could rewind the clock and ask the advisors to just say like, look, by the time your kid gets into the high school program, if they want to be on campus, we're going to use Matthew C. So maybe just start them out there and see how it rolls. I forget what math I used first, but the teacher book was like this big. It was ridiculous. The instructions were stupid. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Sarah says, yep, they're still using Matthew C for Bella. Yeah. So I had a lot of obvious recommendations for Matthew C, but since we've never used it before, and since I just love to order things. We got the full deal. So we got the manipulatives kit. So this is like the blocks. I don't know. I feel like you can never have too many math manipulatives. And more blocks. So many blocks. And I think that's all the manipulatives are, is the blocks. This says hundredths blocks and then snap-in strips and snap-in squares. So yeah, I don't really want to open this because then I'm gonna have stuff everywhere. But my kids love manipulatives, so I'm like, I can't go wrong. Yeah. So yeah, so that first math was just ridiculous. And you know, it's like basic 1 + 1, 2 + 2, blah blah blah. Like I don't even think it was that. I think it was just like identifying numbers. So it was like, you know, kindergarten math, and we just couldn't get through it. It was so boring. And then we switched to Math in Focus, and she got that for quite a few years, my oldest. And then somewhere along the way, she just was not having it anymore. So then there is the student book and there's the test book. So the only thing I didn't like about, because I had considered switching my youngest over to Math UC, but I'm not really sure where she fits in, because like they instead of doing grade levels, which I'm fine with not doing grade levels, as long as you tell us what grade levels they correspond to for those of us that have done grade levels. But they do alpha, beta, whatever, like all these things. But then they kind of go out of order. Like at some point, like they stop going in alphabetical order, and then they like jump the train and go somewhere else. And that's where I really got confused. So I was like, we're going to stick with our Math in Focus. So we have those books. And I'm not completely in love with Math in Focus either, to be honest, because you've got an assessments book, and then you've got an enrichment book, and then you've got your activity book, and I feel like we're missing things, but I don't even know, because this one doesn't even say, so like this one, I think, yeah, 6th grade, it stopped saying the grade. Like kindergarten is K, 1st grade is Math 1, blah, blah, blah. But then when you get to 6th grade, it's called Course 1. And they don't very easily separate their workbook from their student book. So when my oldest did this, we ordered 2 sets of student books for fall and spring semesters. And because we did it on a purchase order, you can't return them. And they're hardcover books, so it's not like a workbook. Like, I feel like when I was in school, we got assigned those books, the textbooks, and then we wrote out on paper, because you have to reuse the textbook. So like in my brain, I'm like, it's a textbook, you can't write in it. Maybe you were supposed to, I don't know. Okay. And then we are almost to the more fun stuff. Oh, we are to the fun stuff. What did I do with... Okay, so that's social studies, and all the rest of those are empty. So what have I got in here? I've got music appreciation. I feel like I'm missing some things, so I'm gonna have to check my purchase order, because I thought that I ordered all about, no, I don't know what it was called. Meet the Masters. I did order the art. I'm gonna have to look at this a bit. Okay, so anyways, so we got music appreciation. And we have, yeah, I'm gonna have to put in another work order or purchase order, because they didn't get all the things. So we have music appreciation for the middle grades. I did this for their younger years. And we did some of them. It's a lot of like lap book stuff. So this is a coloring book, which my kids may or may not want to do. So I might ask them before I do that. And then we have the lap book. And this is loose pages. So maybe I won't order a second one. Maybe I'll just print because I paid for HP ink. All right, I gotta move some of these real quick because I also ordered the books this time. So I apologize that you're seeing the back of my head, and hopefully my pigtails are mostly straight. So the first time I ordered music appreciation, I did not understand that you had to order additional books because they don't. Because Rainbow Resources is pretty good, but oh my goodness, the back of my hair is awful. I need to do those roots and they're not even. Sorry. So sorry. That's what happens sometimes when you let other people do your hair that are not hairstylists. So the first time we ordered music appreciation from Rainbow Resource, I got the books, the teacher book, the lap book, the whatever. It is a teacher book, right? No, I don't even think I got the teacher. I'm going to have to check that because I think there's supposed to be a teacher book and a workbook. So apparently you're also supposed to order these Great Musician series books from Zizok Publishing. And so it took us a while to really get into the program because I didn't know I was supposed to have these books. And these, the first time I ordered for that set, I got them as digital books. This time I decided to order the actual books. So we got Frédéric Chopin. Excuse me if I say any of these incorrectly because there are some I will. Robert Schumann. I guess there's, and Mascot Ziff. The first set, like I knew the composers. These ones I'm like, who? Stephen Foster and his little dog, Trey? That's not a good font. Not a good font. The story of Peter Tchaikovsky. Pretty sure that's right. Don't fall. I'm kind of playing a fun game of Jenga with these books right now. Peter Tchaikovsky and the Nutcracker Ballet. So he got 2 books. I do love the Nutcracker. People that know me know I love the Nutcracker. Adventures of Richard Wagner. Ooh, this one's a hardcover. The Young Brahms with a dancing monkey. Another one for Frédéric Chopin. Chopin. And Edward McDowell and his Cabin in the Pines, which sounds like it could turn into like a mystery novel. Yeah, so that is that. I like those because we can kind of work at our own pace. And they just do like a little study on them and that's fine. But I don't know. I feel like I'm missing some things. So then we have, I just kind of ordered this as, because I could, the beginner's photography guide. My oldest was really into photography for a minute, and when I showed her that, I was so excited today, and she's like, meh. I gotta move my seat. So not loving the meh, but whatever. Teenagers, right? What time are we looking at? Oh, we're getting there. Okay. So maybe I won't show every single thing. These come with like I bought a ton of art supplies, essentially. So there's like these things, and these are like foam sheets. So construction paper. I don't know what these are. It's like a poster board, kind of. Stay. They're not going to stay. And then there is some laser inkjet paper, some tracing paper, some pastel paper, stay. There's like a ton of art stuff. Then there's this humongous construction paper, which I think I still have from the very first one of these. Then there is a newsprint pad. I'm showing you these because I'm trying to get to my list. And some more like poster board kind of stuff. So, yeah, because this is it's part of an art bundle for a program called Meet the Masters. And I swear that I ordered the Meet the Masters Home Track Program A to G. And it says like I still have to gather some stuff, which is fine. But like it says cotton swabs and permanent marker. But it comes with a ton of stuff, which I don't know. I feel like it'll take me a really, really long time. And now I'm distracted because I didn't get anything for this. Oh, and some of it's out of stock. That's awesome. So they put like a lot of little dots and tally marks on this so that they could tell what they sent me. But basically, Prang thick core color pencil set of 12, PVC latex-free vinyl eraser, Sharpie ultrafine permanent black marker, red tempera paint, 16 ounces. So this is how they send the paint. I still have these from the very first one. But it's always like saran wrapped. Do people call it saran wrap anymore? But there's, yeah. So the tempera paints in the 16 ounces, they sent me red, yellow, blue, green, turquoise, white, black, brown, magenta. There should have been a long handle, white bristle, 6 flat brushes. It says temporarily out of stock, but I feel like I did get those. A watercolor brush set of 6. Maybe that's what I got. Dynasty Golden Taklon Round Brush number 8. Ticonderoga Laddie pencil with no eraser. That's what it says. A black conical marker. Camel hair economy with, I don't know, it says W/C. Watercolor. I got it. Watercolor brush number 8. Soft pastel set. 12 color. Calder kit. I don't know what a Calder kit is. A Lawrence kit. No clue. Oil pastels, 16 pieces. Sunworks construction paper, 12 by 18, 9 by 12. Construction paper fade resistant, 9 by 12 in assorted colors and in bright colors. Pastel acid free paper, 20 pound, 8.5 by 11. There's 100 sheets of that in assorted colors. A 9 by 12 inch tracing paper pad that is 40 sheets. 2 glue sticks. I always find those glue sticks, man. Dynasty Fine Detail Brush, number 3. Poster Primary Color Set, 6 colors. Elmer's Washable Glue, a 4 ounce in white. Origami paper. We found the origami paper when I was unpacking it into the car. That went over so well. My oldest loves origami. Prang crayons, 8 color set. Prang watercolor crayons, 8 color set. Crayola crayons, 16 count box. Do you call it crayon or crayon? I think there's like 3 ways to say it. Multicolor acrylic gemstones. My youngest just saw those when she was helping me put them in my sewing room. She's like, I want these. Dustless white chalk. Wonder foam sheets. Pastello paper chalk. That'll be interesting. Deco Puff assorted color tissue paper. Laser inkjet paper. Newsprint pad. Spouncer stenciling sponges. Excuse me. Powder tempera paints. So not looking forward to these. These look like a whole lot of mess, but that is the powder paints. You can kind of see it in there. And they sent me 3 colors. Blue, purple, and yellow. I don't know. Why didn't they send like primary colors? It's always strange to me. Instead of red, they sent purple. I don't know. a foam poly brush 4-inch, Lumo Color Non-Perm Fine Black Marker, Art Yarn Bright Colors Assortment, 5 feet, single strand. I don't think I saw the yarn. It's not an assortment, it's just red. Like that one I saw, it was because it's right here. Tag board in 12 by 18 and in 9 by 12. A set of 10 white mailing labels. So I saw those mailing labels in the box when I was unpacking, and I'm like, why? What? I thought they were supposed to be for part of the packaging. I almost threw them away. And even like Evie, when she was helping me unpack, she's like, did they just throw a bunch of random stuff in here? And I'm like, I don't know. Oh, because they also sent single crayons. The single crayons always make me laugh. So it's like in its own little individual bag. They sent single crayon, black, red, and white. Like they couldn't just put them in a bag together. They're all in their own bags. And then Crayola Model Magic Air Dry Clay, 4 ounces. So I'm going to have to figure out where the actual like program is, if it's coming separately, if I didn't order it. I suppose that could be a thing. When I put in the order, each kid gets their own budget, and the order itself was too much to go on one purchase order. We had to split it between 2 purchase orders because, I don't know, for some reason they couldn't do the transaction that way, which is fine. But I don't know if I missed things or if when they transferred it into 2 purchase orders, if they missed things. So I'm going to have to figure that out. If you're watching and you want to actually see like what these things look like, put that in the comments and I can do like an official unboxing. I mean, it's already unboxed, but like I'll do like I do for Sketchbox and whatnot. I'll show you all the pieces. Because we probably won't be touching these for a hot minute because we don't have the curriculum to go with it. And this has happened before. The first time we ordered this, I want to say it was like 1st or 2nd grade. They sent most of the pieces and then like some of the pieces trickled in. So I think we were waiting for like glitter to come in for most of the year, and I finally just said, you know what, I don't need the craft herpes, just don't worry about it. And we never got that glitter, I don't think, which is fine. I don't need it. But what can you do? So that is my rainbow resource haul. I'm so confused. Sorry, that was a lot of dead air, but I can see myself on YouTube and I'm still talking to you, but my phone just told me that I wasn't live anymore. So that gets a little confusing. All right, anyways. So that's my haul. That is the majority of what our curriculum will be for this year. Language arts, math, science, social studies. My note, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So if I do this, then hopefully I won't. I know I only showed you the science for my oldest daughter. For my youngest daughter, we still have NOEO science from previous years. So she's just going to kind of focus on that. She's not as science focused. So I can always add some things in as we go, but as long as we just kind of, what I normally do for any school year, I go to the California Department of Education website, because I'm in California, and they have downloads that tell you where, like what grade and what your kid should be learning. I forget what they call it, but it's a whole thing. And so the public schools, the traditional public schools, are supposed to follow that. So like, you know, in the 8th grade, if you're supposed to learn about, I really couldn't tell you. We didn't do as much science last year because Sam was taking science on site. But I did work with her on that. So like she was 7th grade last year and she was learning about cells. So that would have been on the website for California Department of Education. It would have broken it down into like what they should be learning about cells. And it just really tells you what your child should know by the end of the school year if they're in a traditional public school setting. We're not in a traditional public school setting, but I do like to keep that as, you know, just to, as a guide, as my pace car. Because I do tend to go with these more boxed curriculums and kind of throw stuff in at random. So I just want to make sure that I am covering my bases. If for some reason we ever did decide not to homeschool and put the kids into traditional school, then I want them to not have total shell shock of like, what is this? So like we still do Common Core math and I teach the math that I grew up learning. Because I feel like with Common Core, the main purpose is to teach your child to understand math so that they can do math and get like the right answer. And that the steps you take shouldn't be as important, because there are lots of different ways to do math. There's lots of ways to do math. So anyways, yeah. So just real quick about my business, because we're coming right up on 8 o'clock. I am doing some things over the next few weeks for a family wedding. So that kind of has my attention for a bit, but I am trying to work on some things for my business as well. Tech was able to help me with my website so I can get into my media files, my photos, for the website, so I can add some more listings. I am working on adding some new things to my Etsy shop. I know that there are some costume things that I will be adding to Etsy, and anything on Etsy I will be putting over onto my website as far as like the costumes. So you can get them either place. Either one is fine. I don't necessarily, when I get an order, I try to fill it in the order that it comes into me. So I try not to give too much preferential treatment one way or the other. If whatever order, however the orders come in, I try to do them chronologically. But it does help me out when people order from the website over Etsy, because my website, I don't have as many fees. But I will be taking down some of the shirts and the tote bags. I don't know that the heat transfer stuff was as good a fit for my business as I thought it was going to be. It's not feeling like a good fit. I'm not sewing those things. And really in the beginning, they were only supposed to be like extra items to add to what I already make. But because of the long time that I was not making things, I really focused on those shirts, and they're very time consuming. Ironically, they're more time consuming to list online than they are to actually make. And that's just not financially responsible, I don't think. So I do have a ton of stuff that I have notes that I'm going to be working on. So I'm hoping to have some new products up. Originally, I had wanted to start putting new products on Fridays, like doing Friday launches. I don't know if that's working for me very well. I may change things up and start doing Monday launches. Who knows? I'm wild and crazy like that. But I know in California, where I'm at, school is already in. Some of the kids went back last week. The rest of the kids went back this week. We start next week. So schools are starting earlier and earlier. I do have some back to school things that I may end up putting into my shop because you could use them all year long, pencil cases, that sort of thing. So hopefully I will have those up within the next week. But I have a ton of sports items that I'm super excited to get finished so that I can list those in my shop. So they will be sports themed zipper bags and keychains, and I think there's like some cord wraps and sanitizer holders and all kinds of different things. So I'm super excited about those. I am hopefully going to be able to do some sneak peeks on social media. I did a survey, a poll yesterday on Instagram, and I was asking people what fall sports they were looking forward to, and I could only put 4 options. So I put football, soccer, lacrosse, and hockey. And I'm a hockey fan, so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. Even though like we don't actually have like high school teams that play hockey because we don't have ice here. So I should have put cheer. I shouldn't have put lacrosse. I should have put cheer, but I didn't. It is what it is. So I did share the results of that poll today. If you're looking forward to a fall sport, it doesn't have to be like a school sport. It could just be a regular old professional team. Put that in the comments. Let me know what your favorite sport is that you are looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to hockey. I grew up in a very heavily football fandom family. They still are very hardcore 49er fans. I was telling my kids today, we heard some commercial about starter jackets, and I was like, I had a starter jacket. I had 2 49er starter jackets. I would wear them all summer long. It didn't matter. I loved my starter jackets. My first one I got was really cool. It had like this airbrushed gold miner, because 49ers, in case you didn't know, it was all about the gold mining. And I loved that jacket, and I have no idea what happened to it. But yeah, so like we grew up watching football. I have an uncle that coached football for years, and I still barely understand football at all. I understand baseball. I don't love baseball. I understand basketball. I don't particularly love basketball. My husband had introduced me to hockey years and years ago, and I can ice skate. I can't like figure out a puck with ice skates, but I can ice skate. But hockey, I love hockey. Hockey is kind of violent, and I have to admit that I do like that. So I will have some fall sport themed items, and I'll have just, all other kinds of sport themed items as well. I just might do the fall ones first. I think that's the only business update. With YouTube, I'm really trying to work on my schedule. I know that YouTube and the algorithms love consistency, and I'm not super consistent right now. So I'm working on, and we'll see how it goes. I would love to be able to post things like clean with me and cook with me and all of that, but I have not. When I'm cleaning, it's like the desperate, have to clean this right now, get it done. And I don't have time to like go look for my cameras. I can't find one of the bases for one of my cameras. So I can't even do unboxings right now because I can't find the base for my table stand. I had it in Arizona. I remember putting it in the van. I don't know what happened to it. I've unpacked the van. I just haven't unpacked, like there's a space underneath one of the seats that I have not finished unpacking. I didn't think that I put it under there, but maybe I did. So I'll be looking for that. But yeah, I will be trying to do more videos that are recorded and posting those more consistently. It may have to wait until September, but who knows? And I also might do a sew with me video. The only problem I have with doing a live sew with me, I mean, I do plan to do those recorded, but with a live, they are a little more difficult because the machines are super, super loud. So I don't know how, like, the functionality of if I've got the machine going and it's really, really loud and I have to watch the machine and I have to watch for comments and all the things. So we'll see. And then also, I think I've talked before about there's a couple of designers that I purchased from before, or consistently I purchase from them, and they don't allow me to do like a tutorial. So I can't show the step-by-step process of sewing their items, which is, I respect that, it's fine. But then I have to figure out which ones can I do. So it's a whole lot. If you have ideas, let me know. If you want to see some sew-alongs, if you have ideas about sew-alongs, cool. I am going to go ahead and take off. We had a crazy morning. We had a crazy afternoon. We ate lunch super late and we haven't had dinner yet. And I think I had told the kids we're just going to do like a fend for me, like whatever you get out of the refrigerator is what you get to eat. But I might make some macaroni and cheese and that'll be fine. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you have not already, please go ahead and give this video a like or a thumbs up, follow or subscribe, and feel free to subscribe to the email list. I don't have my script in front of me, so I don't remember all the things that I normally say. I should remember because I've done this enough times, but I know that's the gist of it. So I will see you next week. Not sure what I'm going to do yet next week. I took all the fun out of it. I don't know. If you have ideas, let me know. Feel free to drop it in the comments. If there's something you want me to talk about, I will happily talk about it. Being an Etsy seller, a small handmade business, all of the fun things about, being a single parent and home ownership, because that'll keep me going for days. Homeschooling, whatever, that's all good. I'll talk about whatever you want. It's 10 minutes after 8. I think I started a few minutes late though. So anyways, I will see you next week. Thank you so much.